Welcome to Podcast on TechNation. This is a series of podcasts focused specifically on the biomedical and HTM industry. Episodes will be added monthly. Listening to each episode is eligible for 1 CE credit from the ACI. At the conclusion of this episode, you will be able to access a link that will take you to a quick survey. You'll be able to download your certificate once you submit the survey. Before we begin today's podcast, I'd like to invite you to save the date for our upcoming MD Expo. We will be in Houston, Texas from April the 11th to the 13th, 2023. Please visit mdexposhow.com for event details and registration information. Podcast on TechNation would like to thank our sponsor, Multi Medical Systems. When you're in the business of protecting the health of patients, you don't have time for malfunctioning medical equipment or dull surgical instruments. You need a reliable partner that can provide expert repair and planned maintenance to ensure you have patient-ready equipment that meets or exceeds OEM guidelines and regulatory requirements. For more information, visit multimedicalsystems.com. In this episode, we are joined by Jim Bowles, past president of the Florida Biomedical Society and a retired biomed. He will discuss the Florida Biomedical Society's Symposium.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HTM Insider. I'm your host, Chyrill with Multi Medical Systems, and today we're going to be talking about Florida Biomedical Society, also known as FBS. Today, my guest is someone I've known, I think, around 5 years now, my friend Jim Bowles, and he's been a participant in FBS for quite a while now. So, Jim, why don't you introduce yourself and tell our listeners your background?
Sure. Well, hey, Chyrill, good to be on. Shaka to all my friends. So I started FBS first of all, I started in the industry in 1979 as a hospital electrician. Back in those days, there wasn't biomedical engineers. We were able to introduce the term electronic technician around 1982, somewhere right around when Ralph Nader was doing his look or life expose on in the magazine, and then somewhere around 1990, we were able to introduce the term biomedical technician. So I've been around since 1979. Quite a long time. I've been started off as a technician and ended my career year before last, retiring as the strategic business director for TriMedics Clinical Engineering Services, one of the largest service providers in the nation. So with that, in 1997, I was given the opportunity to join FBS and start working with the local chapter, Gulf Coast Biomedical Society, here in Pensacola, and started working with them. We were a chapter of FBS, and then around 2002, I became the president of FBS. I've been the president of FBS twice in my tenure with FBS, but I've continued to be the education coordinator for the FBS Symposium for its entire for my entire tenure with FBS. If you've attended any of the FBS symposiums and you enjoyed the education that you acquired at the symposium, well, I'm the guy that helped put that on. If you didn't enjoy or didn't acquire any knowledge from those education opportunities. Well, that was somebody else. It definitely wasn't me. So again, I've been in the industry since '79. Been part of FBS since around 1999, 97, 99. Long time, and love being a part of the industry. Continue to be a part of the industry even in my retired mode, and I just like helping the industry as much as I possibly can. So
you've seen a lot in your time, Jim.
Yes, I have. I've seen a whole bunch.
I bet. Now, how many chapters are within the FBS, the Florida Biomedical Society?
Sure. There's 5 chapters in FBS. They're located all throughout the state. There is the Gulf Coast Biomedical Society, GCBS, located here in the Panhandle. There's the FAMI, which is located over in the Jacksonville area. There's Central Florida Instrumentation, CFBIS, which is located in Tampa. There is, also there is a SFAMI, which was the beginning of FBS. So there's 5 chapters within the organization.
Yeah, and I think they're very well attended. I've been to several of the chapter meetings and taught, but I'm really impressed on the organization that you guys have around the FBS Symposium. So let's jump into where it's at, when it's happening, how to sign up.
Sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about the history first about the symposium. So the symposium started back in the mid-90s, and then we didn't have a symposium in 2001 due to 9/11, and then we didn't have a symposium during COVID. So that's the only 2 times we haven't had a symposium. So we've been the FBS, Florida Biomedical Society. We've been located at Disney in Orlando for the past 15 years. We started there around 2007. And we've had a really good run with Disney. We moved to Disney for the fact that we wanted it to be a family opportunity and not take away from families by inviting technicians, engineers, vendors to be away from their families. So it also gives them an opportunity to have family opportunities to be with their family. Where this year, we're located at the Grand Floridian, which is Disney's premier resort. It's our second time at the Grand Floridian, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be really great. We had to reduce the number of vendors because they can't accommodate our typical 100 plus vendors. So this year there'll be only 70 vendors at the symposium. And again, Chyrill, before I go any further, first of all, let me thank you for allowing me this opportunity. But secondly, let me thank our vendors, because without our vendors, this symposium wouldn't go on. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's not a problem. Again, attendees to the symposium don't pay a dime to come and attend the symposium. All right. We ask that they be members, and they can join at the symposium. Vendors can join as well. So we ask that you be members to join. And again, so that's that. Again, we're going to be at the Grand Floridian, located in Disney's premier resort, and it's going to be huge.
What's the date, Jim? What's the dates we're all going to be there?
Yes, December 1st through the 4th. So, Chyrill, we start on Thursday night with the Tyler's Hope event. So, Tyler's Hope is a program that we have partnered with to provide resources for them. It's a nonprofit organization. And over the last 5 years of with us partnering with Tyler's Hope, FBS has donated over $15,000 to Tyler's Hope.
That's awesome. And it's looking for a cure for dystonia, correct?
That is correct.
I've supported, yes.
Yes, you have, and we appreciate you and all the vendors who come, as well as all of the attendees who wish to participate on our Thursday kickoff event. Friday registration opens at 7:00 in the morning, and also Friday morning we have our golf tournament. It's our annual golf tournament, and it's going to be located at the Palm Golf Course right there on Disney grounds. Again, it's a great opportunity to mix and mingle with fellow biomeds and vendors. The golf tournament finishes up typically somewhere around 1:00 and on Friday. But for those who don't want to participate in the golf tournament, we have over 25 opportunities for education on Friday and Saturday. On Friday alone, we have 10 opportunities for education. We have, 1 second here, we have, out of that 25 classes, we have 12 biomedical classes. We have 5 imaging classes. We have 1 laboratory class, 1 cybersecurity class, 3 management classes, and we also have 3 classes on Saturday that are directly responsible for review of the CBET exam. The first module being hosted by Amy themselves, giving you a first look at what you should be doing to help prepare for your Amy CBET exam. So some of the classes that we're going to be having on that Friday will be Introduction to Imaging, Module Service, Telemetry Service. We'll have Injector Theory with Basic Troubleshooting Techniques. We'll have Transitioning from a Biomed to an Imaging Technician. We'll have Neon Codent providing Patient Monitoring System Overview. Teleflex will be providing Inner Aortic Balloon Pump classes. And then we finish off the day with STERIS providing 3 different classes on the Medivator, surgical lighting, and preventative maintenance on flexible scopes. Then, so for those vendors who are watching today, Chyrill, let's talk a little bit about them. They're gonna they have the exhibit hall available to them from the hours of 12 to 4 o'clock to set up the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall will open from 4:30 to 6:30 when everyone is invited to come and participate with the vendors. And it's a huge opportunity. And let me say this, in September, we had 408 attendees sign up, and we've increased that by over 120 in October. So we now have 533 attendee and visitors signed up to participate. That is huge. And it surpasses our numbers from last year at this time, and we're expecting close to 700 attendees. I will say this, Chyrill, we rival probably Amy's convention and symposium, California, NCBA. We rival all of them in with our participation. So, Chyrill, I'd like to mention a little bit about what's going to take place on Saturday. So we also have 15 education opportunities on Saturday, a long list of education opportunities, and I look forward to seeing everybody Saturday. But then again, also right after the last education opportunity class, there will be the president's address. All right. And this is where our president will address all the attendees And we will also provide the future of where FBS is going. And we'll also introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this year is Daniela McGarry from Amy, and she's going to talk about the HTM professional heroism throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's going to be a great presentation and keynote address as well. And then right after she finishes, John, our president, is then going to pass out the chapters awards for the year, as well as the Biomed of the Year, the President's Choice Award for vendor appreciation, and also that we will be passing out 3 scholarships at that time. The Bob White Kevin Joyce Scholarship, which is $500 to those who apply for it. There's the Bruce McGuire Scholarship, a $1,000 scholarship for those who apply for it. And last, the Bill Yandell Scholarship, another $500 scholarship for those who apply for that. How do you apply for them? You go online or talk to your chapter reps in your local chapters, or reach out to me. It doesn't matter. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Trade show begins at 12:30 on with lunch with the vendors, and then completes at 3 o'clock on Saturday. And then the festivities and events begin with the afternoon dinner with the vendors, the Epcot event with fireworks, and we look forward to everybody seeing everybody there. So
those are some great scholarship opportunities. That's amazing. I mean, if I was a biomed, I'd be applying. So, wow, that's great. That's generous that you guys have those scholarships available. I think that's great. And, you know, Danielle's a good friend of mine. I always love the opportunity to watch her keynote. And I love John, too. John's a really great guy. So we're excited about that.
One last great opportunity, and I don't want to forget this, and that is for those members, FBS members, who are taking the Amy CBET exam, FBS will provide you with a $100 donation to help you with the purchase of your exam.
Gosh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. But if you also pass the exam and show proof to FBS by sending you your passing score, then we will also send you another $100 for a total of $200, which will pay completely for your taking your exam.
That's an awesome incentive for everyone who's going to go after that certification, which I think everybody should, right? I mean, it really, I guess, elevates the profession when you have a certification, right?
It does. It really does. And FBS definitely promotes the certification of our biomeds.
Love it. And I like the way that people can go and start picking their classes right now of how they want to build their schedule.
Yes, they can, Chyrill. They can go to fbsonline.net and register for classes and register for the symposium and join FBS as a member at that same time.
Yeah, I look forward to teaching every year. This class is a little bit different. You know, I've done everything from endoscope handling, customer service, like, you know, interpersonal relationship skills with the biomeds. And this year we're doing a class on, you know, the culture in the HTM shop. You know, how do you affect it and how do you change it?
That's huge, Chyrill. We appreciate you coming to our board meeting a couple months back and doing your presentation there, and it was very warming to understand the reasonings why the changes need to be made and the impact that that HTM makes in the industry. So we appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure. So let's talk about some of the social things that happen at FBS.
Sure.
There's never a dull moment. I've got to say that. You better wear your walking shoes because there's a lot of movements. You guys keep us on our toes. And I haven't been to the Grand Floridian, but in the past, you got to get from place to place, go change your clothes, get back down for a social. I've taken pictures with Donald Duck. I've had some great food, some great drinks. And even the last night, the fireworks, the private fireworks. But they have to know they've got to go buy those tickets if there's still tickets available, right?
So let's talk. You're right. So we do provide a lot of opportunities for family entertainment and involvement. And you're right. You got to be on your toes because we start at 6:30 in the morning, and we typically don't stop until, well, as you know, Chyrill, late into the evening. So not only are we professionals, we're professionals in the social arena as well. So there are opportunities remaining for all of the events. Tyler's Hope. You need to go online, fbsonline.net. Sign up for the Tyler's Hope event. There is a fee for that because it is a not-for-profit event, and the monies that we collect all go to that as well. And then there's the event on Friday night where we have a vendor reception, where it's solely devoted to the vendors because all of what you do for us, we want to make sure that we give 100% back to you. So we have a 3-hour opportunity in the afternoon from 4:30 to, I believe it's 8:30, for that opportunity for you guys to become one with the attendees. And then you're right. Then on Saturday night, there is the opportunity to go to Epcot. And we have a huge event prepared for everyone who's able to purchase a ticket. Now, I must say, there's limited space because Disney will only allow us, I believe it's 200 or 250 people on the pavilion that we have chosen for this year. But you've been to it in the past, and what it is we go to dinner and we have dinner provided at one of the Disney worlds there in Epcot, and then we walk across to one of the pavilions, and we have a private area where we have desserts provided and cocktails always, and then our own area to preview or to view the fireworks display that takes place at 9:00 every day at Epcot. And again, Epcot this year started their new fireworks display, and it is huge. It's gigantic. It's wonderful. And being in China, where we're going to be, we'll be even closer to the fireworks than last year over in France. So it's going to be really, really great. I'm looking forward to it, and I know you are, and I hope all of our attendees are as well.
Yeah, I really look forward to those Mickey Mouse lime cheesecakes. Can you make sure those are at the dessert table?
I will make sure they're there because they're one of my favorites as well.
Yep. If you guys go online and you're a little confused, I know there's a lot to sign up for. So kind of recap, because you need to register, be great. You're going to register as a member of Florida Biomedical Society. Now you can register as an individual or as a corporate membership, as a vendor. And then you can, select classes. But if you want to be in the golf tournament, I don't know if you have any spots open still. Tyler's.
Yes, I believe there's availability for one more foursome. So if you're watching this podcast, there is an opportunity for you to play golf.
Perfect. And then you want to buy your ticket for Tyler's Hope. You want to attend that event. And then you want to buy a ticket for the Epcot event. That's how it's kind of titled. So you want to make sure you get all those tickets and all individual purchases on PayPal. Yes, I've done this several times. I have it down now.
You got it. You got it down, girl.
Yep. And again, you don't know where you're gonna be and how far the walk is. And I haven't been to this venue yet, but I'm excited. But make sure you wear a comfortable shoe or bring a comfortable shoe, ladies, as a backup. You never know. And whether rain or shine, I mean, it's going on, right? I mean, I got asked about that the other day. Well, doesn't it rain a lot in December in Florida? I said, I've never seen the rain. I saw it this summer, but I never saw the rain once at FBS.
It only rains when there's a hurricane.
We don't need one of those, Jim.
No, we don't need one.
But
we've already had one in Florida this year.
I also want to address the board that you have. So with the meeting that you mentioned that I was at, it was very impressive, the tenure that you have on your board and how dedicated everyone is to providing the best experience. If you had a list, what's the objective of FBS from the board's standpoint?
I would say the objective from the board would be to provide the best learning opportunity to our members at the symposium. I would say yes. So learning, education, I mean, that's huge for the FBS board. And since you mentioned the board, let's talk a little bit about the board. So again, our president for this year, of course, is John Alvinus from the FAMI. Our secretary is Fred McMurtry from SAFAMI, South Florida. And he is also our webmaster. So our news editor is Andrea Moe from SAFAMI. Our president-elect is Brian Swinson from GCBS here in the Northwest Florida. Our past president is Richard Morris from SAFAMI. And our treasurer is one of our founding members, Lou Ketchis from SAFAMI as well. And God bless Lou. He's been with FBS since its inception. But let me say,
Lou's wife, you got to meet Lou's wife. She's adorable.
You do. Helen is adorable. But I've got to mention one guy especially, and that is the guy that puts this symposium on basically single-handedly. Without this person, there is no FBS symposium. And so I want to give all the shout out to Bill Haskell. He's the guy who makes this entire symposium happen. So without his dedication to putting this together, there would be no FBS symposium. So to Bill, Shaka, my brother, you do a wonderful job, and we look forward to many more years with you providing these opportunities for everyone in the industry.
Yes, Bill does an amazing job, and it really seems effortless, but I know there's a lot of work in the background that makes it look like it's effortless. And very well organized. So yes, Bill, props, and to the entire board. You guys have done a great job putting this event together. I know as a vendor, MMS is very excited to be, a part of it. I know this year I'm bringing along for the first time our president and CEO, as well as our senior vice president, and we're partaking in everything that's out there. So vendors, it's a great opportunity. And then those who want to come and, participate, the education is phenomenal. You get CEU credits. You get certificates at the end of the classes. I know that I handwrite your name in, and you get to walk away with that certificate. And I think that there's a lot of, not only learning opportunities, but networking opportunities. So if you're looking to change jobs, change careers, or you're looking to get into the industry, right? This is a great place to start dropping your resume off to make those connections with people who are hiring. There's a lot of the ISO third-party companies that are there that represent at booths. So, and then there's people like ourselves, like a third-party ISO that's looking for field service and other technicians that there's a lot of job opportunities for you. So if you're a student, don't be afraid. We won't bite, right, Jim?
No, heavens no. I mean, by no means did the vendors bite. They look forward to the opportunity to communicate with everybody there at the show, and that's what we're there for. That's what you're there for. That's what they're for. They are there for so that they can network, get their names out. You get your names out, and so that everybody, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yep, I agree. So I know the Grand Floridian is sold out. You can always try. I always say, just give it a shot. But there's a lot of hotels right in that area. So don't be discouraged that you don't get in at the host hotel, because it is a smaller hotel, I believe. But, get on that right away. Right, Jim?
Yep, this is true. So we did just have a block open up for Thursday and Friday night at the Grand Floridian, but we also have blocks of rooms available at the All-Star Resort for those who need a better, a more comfortable cost range or price range.
Right. And it's not far. And they've got those shuttles running all the time around there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
right.
I really appreciate you coming on. Really looking forward to joining you guys again this year. And I want to know, from a man who's been in the industry for a long time and has seen a lot and is so involved in the HTM community, we always end our segments with the wow, your word of wisdom. So can we have a word or two from you about FBS, about the HTM industry, that you could inspire people to show up and attend?
So here you go. So words of wisdom from a guy that's been around, from the dinosaur. So patience. Use your patience. Be communicative. Attend as many networking opportunities that you can. And know that clinical engineering, biomedical engineering, HTM is a growing industry, and that the statistics are saying that close to 40 to 60% of the industry is losing its associates because of guys like me retiring. So it is a worthwhile opportunity for a career. The second part about that, FBS, we believe in the family, and that's why we moved it to Disney. And make sure you bring your family when you come.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's a great piece of advice there. Patience, communication, and networking. I really like that. That's solid advice, Jim. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of HTM Insider. We love that you tune in. Please follow us on any place you listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify or any other medium. And we really appreciate Jim coming on today. And we look forward to seeing you all in Florida.
Thank you, Jim, for a great presentation. If you enjoyed today's episode, you might enjoy our ongoing webinar series, Webinar Wednesday. You can find a calendar of upcoming live webinars, as well as an archive of on-demand webinars at webinarwednesday.live. To obtain your certificate or for 1 CE credit from the ACI, please remember to click the link located below this podcast title to complete today's survey. If you have any questions, you can reach us at webinar@mdpublishing.com.